Something creepy this way comes. Trade, cash, and freedom. Three things very much under threat at the moment, and they are all part of the bigger picture we see around us. Cash perhaps was the first monitoring tool used to enslave people, so it's with a strange irony we fight for it. But right now, it seems the only link between the last vestige of what we knew as freedom and what is approaching for many. And I say for many, because I do not believe this is a one-size-fits-all operation, however much they would like you to think so. Not all countries and people will be on board, can be on board, or will be capable within this new augmented future they try so hard to shape. I speculated on this in my article, There Was Always Going to Be Two. Because there are always those they consider left behind, and maybe they were just cutting their losses. Maybe it was to get rid of the rogue element. You don't want any bad apples getting involved at a really deep level. We all know how damaging it can be to have someone bringing down the morale of everyone, or causing discord, or perhaps exposing something that not everyone is supposed to see. It is sometimes simpler to just remove that person from the environment and pretend they were never there. With the internet and censoring of information, or as they have conveniently dubbed it, misinformation, we have reached a new level of trying to shut the other side down. But that is because it's a controlled environment. Someone decides the platform, the type of interaction, the limitations, the rules, and so on. But outside of that, in the real world and society, it is not as controlled, but oh, how they are trying to make it so. Take a moment, if you will, to imagine the strict parameters of the internet and how it is set up, and then apply that to outside and things you might do in your everyday life. All of that will be monitored, dictated and controlled in the future that makes its way closer. They want you to be bio-monitored, so they can check your vitals to decide what meds you need. They want to then tell you what you are allowed to eat that day, how many calories you are allowed. You are given compulsory exercise and work, all monitored. You aren't allowed any unauthorised conversations or interactions. Only selected hobbies or leisure time activities will be allocated. Sounds pretty horrific, doesn't it? But they openly show this as what they want for everyone with a digital ID linked to your health, finances, employment, beliefs, etc. And if that wasn't intrusive enough, they gleefully talk about implanting chips in people's heads so that they can all be linked to a hive mind type thing. Super creepy now, right? Covered slightly in my article, The Hive, but even more scary when it's a real concept, idea and being put into action. Not just fiction anymore. This shit just got very real. At the moment though, the ability to trade amongst yourselves and use of cash cannot be overstated enough how important that is, because while you are able to still use it, they can't monitor you and your purchases or control you yet. I already realised years ago that all these rules and regulations and red tape that slowly crept into every area of life was going to come to a head eventually and would become more restrictive. That people would finally notice they weren't allowed to do things anymore without someone saying you can. Bit like Simon Says. Can I build here please? Can I fish there please? Can I earn money please? Can I have food please? They've been playing the parent for a really long time now, slowly making it harder for the normal things, making the hoops bigger and more of them to jump through, slowing down and clogging up the bureaucratic world they created. So they swoop in with a new, sleek, streamlined version. But do not be fooled. It is just a further play towards full mental enslavement, if you will, and them being at the helm of your wants, dreams, desires, fears and emotions. They also seem rather obsessed with not just knowing what is in your head, but of actually wanting to be inside it, while you are, feeling your emotions. Now that is maximum level creepy and somewhat terrifying. There was a certain character in Star Trek Next Gen that I thought of, Data. If you are familiar with the show, hopefully you know to what I refer. His emotion chip, and how much havoc it caused within his programming, and with his strange android desire to be human. I wonder if they have switched up the setting. Do they want to put chips in our heads to dampen or control emotions, and perhaps make us more android-like? Who can say for sure? All we know is they want to do it. The true reason for it being left to speculate upon, for now.